Hello everyone. Today this video is about Gary Stevenson and the work that he's doing on behalf of all of us. Let me explain. Imagine a world of soaring house prices, empty high street shops, headlines about inequality. This is the world where wealth keeps piling up at the top. Houses, stocks, assets, while ordinary people like you and me can no longer get a foothold. That's the economy Gary Stevenson says he predicted, and now he's fighting to fix it. Who is Gary Stevenson? He's a former top Citibank trader who claims his insight into inequality made him the bank's most profitable trader in 2011. Now, he walked away from finance at the age of 27. He was alarmed by the inequality that he helped exploit, and he launched his YouTube channel, Gary's Economics, to educate the public. Gary also authored the memoir, The Trading Game, detailing his unravelling from trader to campaigner. Let's look at what Gary is advocating. His core thesis is that wealth inequality inflates asset prices and suppresses economic mobility. We can't argue with that. He argues that post-2008, rich people's excess savings flooded into stocks and commodities, driving up prices and locking out the less wealthy. Stevenson champions a wealth tax, especially targeting those with over £10 million. This is to rebalance power and opportunity for everyone. He emphasises the urgency. Without reform, growth stalls, bonds will collapse, and the UK's economic path is unsustainable. So let's take a look at why this matters now. Everyday people, families, pensioners like us, are facing rising rents and mortgage rates, rising prices, economic inequality now shapes everything, from home ownership and generational opportunity to government borrowing costs and social trust. You have to ask yourself, will your children and grandchildren get a good education with a great job at the end of it? This is no longer guaranteed, nor even likely, unless you're one of the very few wealthy. Gary simplifies complex economic forces, giving unfamiliar audiences clarity and urgencies they otherwise wouldn't hear through traditional media, because traditional media is financed by that very wealthy. And there's a great deal of growing support out there which is gathering momentum, as the economic climate becomes increasingly more difficult for people, for you and for me. Stevenson aligns with Millionaires for Humanity and Patriotic Millionaires UK, showing wealthy advocates for tax fairness. He regularly appears in mainstream media, BBC Politics Live. He appears in The Guardian, The Financial Times, and influential podcasts, including Piers Morgan's Uncensored. He appears in Newsnight, and he's appeared on Question Time. He has 1.4 million subscribers and has had 162 million views as of May 2025. This signals strong public engagement. Okay, let's look at what his critics say. Whilst academics call his models chaotic and full of rough edges, they are forced to admit and concede that his core narrative aligns with mainstream inequality theory, because Gary's conclusion that greater inequality can lead to inflated asset prices and negative welfare effects, well, it's pretty consistent with major strands of research. Some accuse him of grandstanding or using inequality discourse to build personal brand rather than solving it. Most of these critics come from those that are very, very comfortably off and who support the status quo, the very wealthy indeed, £10 million plus. Let's face it, if this were the case, Gary would still be making millions on the trading floor, wouldn't he? Rather than trying to redress the balance of inequality. A very hard job indeed. So what can we do? Well, let's engage with Gary's message. Let's watch, share, and discuss. Let's support policies like wealth taxes, financial regulation, and redistributive measures. Let's encourage political parties to adopt comprehensive anti-inequality platforms. Yes, Gary Stevenson went from riding the inequality wave to challenging it head on. His message is simple: the system is broken. And if we don't disrupt it, nothing will change. He calls upon us urgently to educate ourselves, to demand reform, and to make sure the economy serves everyone, not just the few. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again. Bye from Angie.